So today's date is the 1st, 6th, 2020. It's now 1:29 p.m. Heute ist der 1.6.2020 und es ist 13:25 Uhr. Last night I wrote my Alternativ Praktitioner an email, actually this morning about around 2 o'clock in the morning, and asking when the laboratory, also the blood is, the report is going to come about the borreliosis, about the Lyme disease, because for about 1.5 weeks ago, so 1 week back on Monday, I had a meeting with her. She said this would take 1.5 weeks. Today's the 1st already. So last night, actually this morning, I get this email. I know she read my email. You know, I also told her that the dragon blood is a good thing. It's good when you have blood, when you have small bleedings, whatever, it closes it, but eventually it got worse and worse, more pain, also more burning on my back of the head. Same thing with this stuff here. So it's not a good thing. So, and you know, since the last, actually the first Alternativ Practitioner, that was over a month ago, and I've been with her also 2 weeks, and she's also made me buy a lot of stuff. Oh, it's itching there again. And yeah, so, and I've been having this one here now, this second one, which is a doctor, and also now for about 2.5 weeks now. Altogether it's like over a month already. But I don't see any changes really, you know. The only changes is here, that I'm not biting anymore for now, is because I'm putting a very fat-like cream on it. You know, it's has a lot of fat in it, or whatever you call it. So it still itches, it still hurts, kind of strange, you know. And I try not to bite it open like I did it here on the last night. And so she wrote me that, like an email, like today is Monday, the 1st, 6th. It's called in Germany Pfingsten. You know, it's a holiday. It's a national holiday. So normally, well, nobody's working today. But tomorrow, normally people do work. But she wrote me that she's on Pfingsten holidays, which is today, and she'll be back on Thursday. So I guess by Thursday, the report about my Lyme disease, she's going to have in. You know, like what I don't like is people, they are not honest with me. You know, like when I ask her how much does this Lyme disease, you know, to let it check, you know, through like laboratory blood and so on, cost. You know, she said around 130 euros. She said around 130 euros, you know. This isn't a very good statement, because when I ask her, I expect her to tell me the truth, you know. Is it going to be 130 and not 100? Could be 100, could be 150. This could be around, and not almost 300 euros, you know. And she is like that. So she has, this is like a, it's like an order, you know. She has a menu there and paper, and it says the laboratory for Lyme disease, it costs like 180 or 190 euros, and for additional tests costs like 89 or 79 euros, you know. She has it written down. So when she's writing me an email back, when I ask her for, then she could take a look at it if she doesn't know it by memory, you know. And same thing here, like it's supposed to be already here, the laboratory report, and still she didn't answer to my email. I know she read it last night, because I've heard it in my head that she was reading it, you know. At this moment I'm relaxed, doing something else, and suddenly it's like someone is tuning into me, or I'm tuning into her, and now I know she's read it. But for her excuse, it's just, you know, she's on Pfingst holidays. This is today, you know. Okay, so we'll see what happens then. So I wrote her because what happened, how come it didn't come in yet? You know, maybe because I didn't pay for it yet. It's about 295 euros. But how am I supposed to pay for it if I don't get a bill? I didn't get a bill any yet, you know. So who's getting the bill? Am I getting the bill, or is she getting the bill? Is she getting the report on the Lyme disease, or am I getting it, you know? All these questions, and still open. Oh, it's nice. It's itching nicely there. I had to scratch in the back already again, getting rid of the dragon blood, the dry parts, you know. So now it's itching there, and I have to do some adjustments on this itchiness. It's kind of stinging when I'm stabbing into the skin area of my fingernail. And I've scraped down a lot of this dragon blood garbage. Oh, it's itching me. So I'm getting a little lower down there, scraping it open. I don't want to. It's better lower maybe than going upwards. So like I said, on Thursday she's going to be back. Hopefully she's going to have everything there. Because I said, you know, like over a month now, it's I'm taking all this stuff, this microbiology, globally, homeopathic stuff, and nothing is happening. This stuff is supposed to be for cleansing, okay, but how am I supposed to cleanse it? I'm taking also a painkiller, because this dragon blood is eventually burning. Either it burned here on the thumbs areas, or on the back of the head, you know, so I could be cleansing all my life. You know, this isn't working. I wrote it that eventually when we start the therapy on the Lyme disease, then I'm sure some things may change, you know. And I was surprised that she didn't take any blood samples like for the Lyme disease on our first meeting. Well, that first meeting was only to write down all the information, what's the problem, and so on, you know. But on the second meeting,